The Property Line.
Welcome to the Property Line Show, the show that gives you updates, news, and anything to do with the real estate. With us today, we have the president of the Real Estate Association of Uganda, called Area Uganda. And we also have the executive director of the Real Estate Institute of East Africa. The topic tonight is understanding real estate. What is real estate? What services and products are considered to be part of real estate? What are the laws in real estate? What has real estate contributed to the GDP of the economy? All that will be answered by our guests tonight. And without wasting much time, let us go to the president of the Association of Real Estate Agents of Uganda, Madam Shali Kongai. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
And next, we have the executive director of the Real Estate Institute of East Africa. It is a component, a subsidiary of Area Uganda that has been doing training for the last 5 years. And even before that, Nicholas was involved in training of real estate practitioners under Area Uganda. Over 800 practitioners have been trained, and he will be telling us, where is the business in real estate? How do we invest in real estate? It's going to be a discussion, and feel free to send in your comments, your opinions, your questions to our social media platforms, and we will get back to you. Nicholas, tell us about yourself.
My name is Nicholas Alinaitwe, and I'm the Executive Director of the Real Estate Institute of East Africa. And as she has said, I have a long experience in real estate. I have now 30 years in real estate, and maybe to add that I started working with National Housing as a junior when I was schooling. And thereafter I worked with Wagenani Company before I formed AN Consult, where I was picked now to spearhead education in real estate under Association of Real Estate Agents of Uganda. She has asked me to talk about real estate. What is real estate? This is a good topic. It's a good topic that most of the practitioners we have, especially real estate agents, really don't know what real estate is about. Some of them, you hear them talk about, like for example, selling, and they include like vehicles. Selling, they talk about like furniture, they talk about whatever. They don't differentiate other items from real estate.
So, Nicholas, what is real estate?
Real estate, it's land and developments on land. Land and improvements on land. And in order to qualify it, whenever you put the real estate, it's something that is fixed. Land is fixed, it's immovable, it's, you sell it from where it is, you cannot transfer it as opposed to other like properties or assets. Land, first of all, it is heterogeneous, you cannot get similar properties, you cannot, for example, have a central market in real estate. That's why real estate agents usually come in, because of the information asymmetry, that most people don't know real estate, what it's about. And even, for example, you could be selling a property and your brother doesn't know about it. Your dad doesn't know about it. Your relatives don't know about it. Even your staff or your neighbors don't know about it. So the agents usually come in to make it more liquid, more liquid, as in being marketable, to saturate information about real estate. So real estate is quite illiquid. It's not easy to sell a property. That's why real estate agents usually come in.
Who is a real estate agent?
A real estate agent is that person who markets real estate. And here we interchangeably call them brokers, then real estate agents. But it depends on what you are trying to mean or who you are. Because like in the developed economies, we find US using more of brokers or brokerage. Then you go to UK, they use a lot of agents, but it depends what you are doing and what you are trying to mean.
Maybe Madam
If I can just add on, I think an agent is anyone A real estate agent in this case is anyone who is dealing in real estate on behalf of another person. You are an agent of another person. So someone else wants to buy land or to sell land or to manage, and you're doing it on their behalf. And then Mr. Nicholas, I also wanted to add land and everything above it and below it.
Thank you.
Does that include minerals and farmland and crops and agriculture? Is it all part of real estate?
I should think so.
Yeah, as long as it's fixed.
Yeah,
It's
anything
movable.
that is,
Those are improvements on
anything
land.
that you cannot move, that is immovable, on land or under it, should be real estate.
I have heard of these brokers on the street that have signposts saying to let or broker wa mayumba. I know most of you have seen those signposts. Are those part of the members of the Association of Real Estate Agents? Are they also agents or brokers? What is the difference, Nicholas, between the broker wa mayumba and the estate agents that you're talking about?
No, as long as he plays the role of making clients meet, the seller and the buyer, now is a real estate agent. But when you talk about members of real estate agents of the association, it's quite different, obviously. Ours, we teach them what to do, and are not those people you find on the street saying, broker wa mayumba, ngatana address, ngazitalinda tamanyu, he doesn't know what real estate is about, doesn't really tell you exactly what real estate is about. So ours that have been members of real estate association, they are usually trained, and therefore you cannot find them on the street anyhow.
Madam Shirley Kongai, you've talked about professionalizing the real estate sector, the real estate industry. What is the real estate sector like in Uganda?
So at the moment, if we are to just categorize, we have the developers, the ones who bring the money and come up with the developments, the construction, and put up those buildings or those houses. Those are the developers. They put their money and their idea together and come up with a product. Then we have the manager. The real estate manager is the one who helps the developer or the landlord to run the business of probably letting and selling of their property, taking care of the property and making sure the property is in good condition, and making sure if they are tenants, then the tenants have paid their rent, and taking care of all their requirements or issues. Then we have the agent or the broker, the one who brings together the different players in the industry. For example, he could bring together a buyer and seller. He could bring together the tenant and landlord, or he could even identify an investor or a developer and take him to the bank to be financed, or maybe advise him, this is how you should, this building is good to be in this place and why and all that. So that is the agent. So we have the agent, the manager, and the developer. We also have in the value chain the bankers. We also have the institutions that train our real estate practitioners, like for example MOOBS, UMI, and even in area itself we have the association, the Real Estate Institute of East Africa, that trains the real estate practitioners, the various practitioners. Then of course we have the surveyors who contribute in one way or another to the real estate. We have the architects. We have the entire, like it's a big value chain that goes down. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And Nicholas,
Yes.
Is real estate a profession? Can I become a real estate professional? Like, tell us.
Yeah, obviously, real estate is a profession because it has theories, and you have to study it, you have to improve on it, and you become professional. Obviously, we know there are people that have studied real estate, and there are many institutions and universities that have come up to teach real estate here in Uganda. But in developed economies, it's a big faculty. For example, for most universities, it's because it encompasses many things, as she has said. There are many professions under real estate, so itself it's a profession.
Do I need to be trained to do this business? Because I've seen, it looks like some people just wake up and do the business. Is there like, do I have to go through the degree, or there is an institution that trains people in basic skills? The Real Estate Institute of East Africa. Do I need a degree? Because I've seen most of the brokers, some don't even have the basic education. Some are up to P7, S4. How do you help them?
Yes, it's very true that most people are doing real estate, and yet they have not gone far in books. But I want to tell you that there is a need, even if one has not seen many books, to improve. There is a need to increase on the knowledge. Then they need to train, for example. We have trainings even to the extent that we even train those who graduate from universities, because what they acquire at the university, it is academic. But we get someone who has studied, he has a degree, but the skills he doesn't have. So that's why the institute comes to fill that gap, to make sure that at least they get to know what is done on ground. And our training at Real Estate Institute of East Africa, it is work-based. You have to show that what you are doing, you get experience as you run and as you acquire more credentials. For example, we have the first one stage, which is the foundation. Then from foundation, you study advanced certificate in real estate practice. Then thereafter, you do specialist. So by the time you reach a specialist, it means that that level, you can become even a consultant. You are much knowledgeable on real estate issues than one who has really not studied it. But then also we have trainings which we have always conducted under area that go down to train even real estate brokers on the streets. Some of them, they have always been invited. Then the institute comes in to give them their basic knowledge in real estate. But also, it's all aimed at professionalizing the industry.
I wanted to...
Yeah, do you have something?
Yeah, I wanted to just say something about the... You know, we talk about the street broker and the broker. And I just want to clarify, a broker is a broker. We do business differently, but we're all brokers, and all of them are welcome to area. What we do is that in real estate, in real estate practice, we have a unique situation where we have those who are qualified academically to the level of degree, master's, PhD, and we have those ones who are actually very informal and they carry out business very informally. So at Area Uganda, we recognize the difference and the uniqueness in real estate, and we think we are all one. What we are doing is that business is changing worldwide in everything, even in agriculture, the way you do agriculture, in any kind of business, things are changing. And so to be competitive globally, we have to move from informality and formalize our businesses. So we encourage everyone to do their businesses professionally. Why? Because if we are professional, then we encourage other people to come and invest in our country. We encourage confidence in the public and everywhere else that we are professionals, so the public will be able to deal with us confidently. Yeah. So instead of, I mean, if I am not confident to deal with you, then I cannot give you contracts. I cannot give you business. But if we formalize our ways, the way we do our business, then even our business becomes better and improves. So at Area Uganda, we welcome all brokers, all agents, and we train you and we teach you how to do business professionally. So we don't have that division.
To both of you, I wanted to understand how much percentage is real estate contributing to the economy? Because we have seen in other countries and in other economies, real estate is such a big deal and a big contributor to the GDP of the economy. How are we doing in Uganda? And also the other thing I wanted to understand is the contribution towards jobs. There are so many young people that are unemployed, and we have had you talking about training, even the informal group. Like, what contribution is real estate adding to the employment of the country?
Before I go into the figures and numbers, I will argue that almost every broker, every border rider is a broker.
Is it?
Almost. If you ask them for property somewhere, they will show you where the property is, where there's maybe a house for rent, or a person who is selling a piece of land, or this house is on sale. Every border almost is a broker. And all of us are brokers. Even in the legal profession, you will find people who are brokering land. Yeah? So it employs, without giving the numbers, almost everyone.
Nicholas, you agree?
Yes, obviously. And we have a wrong value chain. That wrong value chain, every level, it employs people. Right from, for example, common one, like people who do building. People who do building. And then you find like hardware, it employs people. Then you come to us, who do real estate brokerage. We have jobs.
Yeah.
We have property managers, we have surveyors, we have valuers, we have quantity surveyors, we have all those. So it's a lot. And in fact, it contributes 5.7% of our national GDP. There are taxes. Every level, as long as you are doing business officially, you are taxed. So there is a lot that really contributes to the economy. There is that multiplier effect in terms of employment. So there are many people are employed by the sector, and that's why we give it a lot of prominence, so that everyone comes to understand real estate. And if you are to come to practice real estate, you need to be professional, you need to understand it.
And talking of employment, we are right here at Rosewood Furniture Limited, located on 7th Street. The beautiful set you see is just a glimpse of what they can do with wood. They have wall paneling, as you can see right behind me. They have lampshades, they have wall decor. We will be seeing most of their products as we get along. And it's part of what is done in real estate. Most people forget the interior decorators. There's the landscaping, the exterior, the construction from, as Nicholas said, from foundation to finishing. Let's go in for a break. When we come back, we'll be learning more about real estate and its contribution to the GDP and the economy of the country. Welcome back to the Property Lane Show. We are still trying to understand what is real estate. And before the break, Madam Shali Kongai was taking us through the different aspects of real estate that have contributed to the economy. Many people think real estate is the commercial buildings and the houses where we sleep. But talk about the health sector. How many developers have ventured into that form of real estate? When you look at Dubai, real estate is tourism. Do we have that in our country? Is it possible to turn our beautiful architectural designs into a tourist attraction? Like, tell us more about the real estate sector.
I think we are growing. We have come from far. We have come from where we didn't know what real estate was 10, 20 years ago. We only looked at real estate as offices and residential places. But now we are growing, and we are now beginning to appreciate what real estate is. And with time, I believe investors will come. People will be encouraged to invest even in hospitals. But the schools, people are investing in them.
Before we come to the end of our topic, we wanted to know, what are the interventions by government into this sector? What has government done to regulate the industry, to streamline it? Are there any laws, policies? What is government's intervention in regulating the real estate sector?
Okay, thank you very much, Catherine. The government has been instrumental, by the way, in ensuring that real estate grows to where it is now. Of course, we still have issues, but they have done their part. For starters, we have laws in place. We have the condominium laws in place. We have the Land Act in place. We have the Mortgage Act. There are various laws, Building Control Act. Basically, there are laws that regulate the real estate business in various levels. However, there are some levels that still remain unregulated, like the real estate business itself. For example, the development, the brokers, the managers are not regulated. Yet they have the biggest influence when it comes to identifying the property for sale, advising clients on what to put in that particular area, and they influence actually the buying and selling and the pricing of the properties. And so that regulation is very key for us. We also still feel planning should be really prioritized, and we should, I mean, developers shouldn't be the ones planning, but government should be proactive to actually dictate what property should be situated in what area and zone probably, which we feel the government now is working on. As we speak now, we have the National Physical Planning Guidelines which are out. The physical plans actually in some areas are out. Maybe we just need sensitization to get the public to know exactly what is there and what is not there.
Yeah, before you conclude on that, I've heard government is digitalizing most of the aspects of land registration. We have the LIS, the Land Information System. What can you tell the public about that? I also heard that approval of plans is going digital. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, we have that information. Personally, I am yet to experience that when I am doing a transfer. But probably there are those who have experienced, but as far as I know, it is still in the baking. We are still doing our transfers manually. We are still searching manually. We are longing for that day where we can be able to transfer a title within 48 hours. Like, remember we had this guest who told us, oh, in Rwanda they can do a transfer in 48 hours, yet for us will really take long. So we are longing for that time where we shall have a timeline that within 2 days or 7 days or 2 weeks, but a timeline. If I submit my title, I know after this number of days I will get it cleared. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Madam Shirley Kongai. And Nicholas, as we wind down on this topic, what are the roles, what are the different opportunities in this industry? What can you tell the public?
Obviously, there are many opportunities in real estate as it grows and as the population grows, as the need for real estate increases. There are many opportunities that come along. These are about like services that would be needed in order to run the industry smoothly. The opportunities, obviously, they are there for let's say, developers. There is a lot of opportunities in developing real estate because there is high demand. Then also there is opportunities for labor. We need labor. We need people to do decoration, as we talked about, landscaping itself. We need brokers. When someone builds a property, obviously they need property managers, and today it is a professional. You need to get someone who will ensure that your tenants, he gets a tenant, and these tenants are comfortably staying in that property while paying the right rent in the right time. We need to have like valuers and surveyors who are professional, who don't gamble around like some people have been doing, and it will depend on how professional you are that people will always look for you. Otherwise, the opportunities are so much enormous.
Oh, we also need house movers.
And house movers too.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need people who will move us when shifting. Thank you so much, Madam Shirley Kongai and Mr. Alina Itwe Nicholas from Area Uganda and Real Estate Institute of East Africa. It's been a very informative discussion. Hope to have you again to tell us more about those different aspects of the real estate industry. From Catherine Nanteza and the rest of our guests, ciao.